Welcome to Varsity Voices Football. My name is Jeff D. Veronica. This is James Johnson. Here to talk about the postseason. James, it's finally here. All the marbles are on the table. We'll see who's going to keep them on the table or lose their seasons. We're going to start talking about Class A today. A matchup of the defending champions, number 6 Brockport, going to Irondequoit, playing at Eastridge. This is a rematch from week 2. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff Friday night. So a rematch from week 2. Brockport won 31-15. And it was ground and pound that night. It was Corey Gross, 145 yards on 19 carries. Do you think the Lancers are going to allow that to happen again? Brockport coming in and run all over them?
They may not have too much of a choice. I mean, with Corey Gross back there, that's a pretty good option to go with as far as your running game goes.
Keenan also had 79 yards that night, too, 14 carries. So obviously Coach Nugent found something he liked and went with it.
Right. And Eastridge, you know, they'll know what's coming, but that's going to be the big question. Can they stop it?
Well, here's what's coming, and we're going to show you some of these highlights. Brockport is fun to watch. They've won 3 in a row. So the team was 1 in 3, and now they've won 3 in a row. So they got into the postseason, James, when it looked like they might not. So obviously a sense of urgency has already been on their play. Yeah,
the defense has kind of improved from week to week. It's kind of like a reading style. After a while, that becomes second nature. You can play faster. Playing fast on defense usually works.
That was a pass right there from Ashton Scott, the quarterback, to Gross over the middle. And here's a run by Gross up the middle, some tough yards, 45 yards in for the touchdown. Scott's pretty good. He's got more than just one target. You're going to see a 75-yard bomb here to Raphael O'Day. I like the playmakers they have. I know Eastridge has some too, so it should be do you think this is going to be an offensive showdown?
It could be. Brockport kind of took advantage of some good special teams play. They kind of knocked Eastridge out of what they wanted to call. They pinned them. Basically, they pinned them deep in their own territory, so they couldn't really cut loose with their offense. So,
well, Coach Chad Green's Lancers from Eastridge. He's got playmakers too. C.J. Turner's one of them, but it's not just C.J. Turner, is it?
No, it's not. They've kind of used more than one quarterback. Shifted Bobby Albritton out to the perimeter, and someone said today the kid is a difference maker. So if you got to kind of spread out your resources, who are you going to stop? Now it just became a little bit more difficult. That could be a very, very big factor in this game because Albritton was the full-time quarterback the first time around.
Okay, and Green's done an amazing job with this program. This was not a team that would win a program year in and year out, and they're really in the mix every year now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, up until Brockport won last year, to me, Eastridge was the team to beat. They were the standard in Class A, to me.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. The Lancers, we're going to look at their schedule in just a second, but in addition to having those playmakers, they've had a season where they started 1-2. So both of these teams had rough starts and came back from it. Yeah. But Eastridge, they started with a win over Geese Arcadia, and then back-to-back losses to quality teams. That one against Brockport, 31-15, and then they lost to the team to beat in Class A, Greece Athena, the top seed, 24-10. No, and that's not bad.
No.
Obviously, they don't want it to be that way if they meet them again. But then they've won 4 in a row, and they've put some points up. HFL 50-27. Beat Irondequoit 53-49 in a shootout, so we know they can go back and forth. Olympia Odyssey 37-13. And finally, a tough win and a good one going into sectionals over Canandaigua. We just saw some of those highlights. That's some confidence for Eastridge going into this matchup.
Absolutely. At Eastridge, especially with that offense, when it's good, it's really good. That's where they've kind of stumbled in recent years is, sometimes you don't get the same thing week to week.
Well, it's 7 o'clock Friday night over in East Irondequoit. The Lancers host the Blue Devils. Should be a great matchup. Thanks for watching us right here at DemocraticChronicle.com on Varsity Voices of Football.